Alright, so now we're going to mate these two flanges. So we see you have a nice pit there. This will go right on top here. And then you'll need to rotate until the holes properly line up. Flip it. And we'll insert these screws. Haha! The reason they went down so easily is because it's the wrong orientation. So, once again, we learn by making mistakes. Which is always good because we learn more that way. Okay, so we got to rotate this to this. That's correct. Okay, so that's the holes with the threads, which is what we want. We had previously put it in the holes that were straight through. So there we go. Perfect. Now, these have no requirement for the amount of torque, so just as tight as you can get them without stripping. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is take this piece. We want to make sure that we have these screw divots facing us. Alright, so this is what we need to see. We're going to bring this guy onto the rod. Start sliding on there. We want to make sure that we orient ourselves with the screw holes and then continue pushing back. You'll notice that that black piece stays behind, or it kind of disconnects itself, and that's its purpose. It's an alignment tool. Once you get one started, you know you have the right orientation. Sure they're good and tight. Okay. So we can take this black piece off. It just comes right out. This is trash. Next, we take this assembly piece. You'll notice that everything is still loose. Slide that onto the rod. We'll then want to make sure that we put this flange back in place. And this is really where having that little extra piece, the post-it note, will really come in handy, as you'll see. You will want to tighten these a little bit, nothing too crazy. Alright, so then the next thing we need to do is we need to tighten down this big guy right here. So now this effectively, he is going to grip this piece to the rod. Okay. And then to further reinforce that, we're going to tighten these guys. You can see why originally I did this in the wrong order. When you're disassembling it, these guys have to be the first ones loosened and then the big guy. But even if you make a stupid move like I did, it's fine. Okay, so that's all nice and tightened. You can see that there's some slop in this, even with the post-it notes, but it helps a little bit. Okay, so at this point we have basically put that part of the assembly together. So now we're almost ready to put the rest of this pump back together. So what we're going to do next is insert this tool. Okay, now this thread can work best sometimes if you use some high vacuum grease on it, ultra high vacuum grease. If you don't know where to find it, you can ask Tom Miller. This probably already has a little bit on it, so it's still somewhat lubricated. It really comes to help when you're finished this process. This just threads right there into the end. It helps with the extraction, right? When you're done, it makes it easier for you to remove this rod. So this rod is an alignment tool, and it's where the rest of the assembly will fall into place. Okay?